Hey, it's your boy Bobby Beats here. I want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is Kanan meets Breeze. Now, what's happening right now, from what I can see here in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, the finale, especially with the hidden character, at the very end of the preview that they showed us, a lot of people are saying that they believe that could be Breeze, that Breeze is an entirely different character from Unique. The thing is about Unique is that there's been a lot of heavy symbolism about him being Breeze ever since the very end of season 3 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And the reason why is because if you really pay attention to him, he's really went through a character change only for himself to come back to being who he used to be, only with a very different vibe. He's way more angry, he's way more on top of things, but he's not non-negotiable, and he's not beyond the truth. He is even trying to recruit Kanan. So there's a lot of symbolism that points to Unique being Breeze, or potentially Breeze, and hey, what character would have enough clout to be able to be a legend or be a boss other than Unique, other than a brand new character that shows up and probably is a boss in his own right. Now, let's say Breeze is a character who's entirely outside of us ever meeting him, and so begins the story of Ghost, Kanan, and Breeze, along with Tommy, Jukebox, and the others. Let's say he's a new character, and him and Kanan is about to begin a relationship as Raising Kanan is coming to an end. Well, let's put it like this right here. Whoever he is, he's obviously associated with Snap and Pop. He comes from a whole other location, has his own thing going on, and there's a lot of character development that has to be established with Breeze, while at the same time linking him to the details we know about him in Book 1, which is pretty much the original Power. And this has to not only, this is starting a relationship with Kanan and Breeze, and so this will eventually lead into the relationship of Kanan meeting Ghost and Tommy, finding out how they got so close together like brothers, to the point that Kanan absolutely loved them niggas, to the point that even when they were enemies in Power Book 1, they still end up finding a way to be friends and be a team, even though it was temporary, because Kanan was plotting against Ghost behind his back, and even Tommy. Kanan was plotting against everybody. The only person Kanan really was loyal to in Book 1 was really Tariq, and that was it. And that was the main person that ended up betraying him in the end. So let's say Breeze is an entirely new character that we've never met before. There's a lot of character development and a lot of stuff they got to build up about him, not only towards the end of this finale, but they got to build up more about him in the next season of Raising Kanan, which we already know has been filmed and is going to debut in 2026, early 2026, because now that's become the season of Raising Kanan versus the end of the year, where we used to always get Raising Kanan at the end of the year, about November, December time frame. So when it comes down to it, Kanan meets this person that doesn't only make an impression on him, it makes an impression of Jukebox, who was a part of the crew, but as we all know, Jukebox always did her own thing. For Jukebox to join Breeze means that Jukebox has to make an impression. Breeze has to make an impression on Juke for her to say that she's willing to work with him. But we all know it's dominantly going to come down to the fact that Kanan is working with Breeze, and that's going to make Juke want to work with him as well. And then we also got to figure out who is Breeze's crew, who is his original crew, if that's the case. Like, who was the other people that Kanan was side by side with, or had to establish himself with for him to get that close to Breeze? Because remember, Kanan got so close to Breeze that he became the number 2 of the crew. So there's a lot there that has to be established as well. Who's already close to Breeze? Who's afraid of Kanan getting close to Breeze? Do they get along, or is there a rivalry there? Or is it pretty much like an easy situation where everything just blends together? We really don't know, but we're going to find out. And as Raising Kanan seems to be wrapping up its storyline very, very soon, so begins the storyline of Power Origins. The funny thing about Origins, though, is that with some of the details we learned about Origins, is that it begins with Kanan going to jail. And again, I'm debating, is it about Kanan going to jail on a different charge, or is it about Kanan going to jail from Ghost and Tasha setting him up, and Ghost is beginning his rise to power as the number 1 drug dealer in New York? Because we all know when Breeze dies and Kanan goes to prison, Ghost takes control of the crew and becomes the leader. So there's the wonder about that as well. There's so many questions about this situation of Kanan meeting Breeze and where it's going to go. The only thing we want to make sure of, though, is that they're sticking to continuity of how everything happens in place. I think the storyline of Ghost, Breeze, Tommy, and Kanan is way more interesting of them being a crew versus them beginning the storyline with Ghost is number 1 now and he has to build himself up. Though that storyline is interesting, it's something that we think would be a part of Power Origins. Like, let's say maybe season 2, season 3, Breeze dies. Kanan goes to jail, Ghost takes over, and the rest of the whole series is about his rise to the top. That leads us all the way up to the original power. That seems to make the most sense, but we're going to see how things play out. But that is pretty much all I got to say in regards to that. I just want to say to all of you that it is your boy Bobby Beast here. Just want to say much love, much respect, hold it down, and